The music world is mourning the sudden and heartbreaking loss of Glen Hansard, the Irish singer-songwriter whose raw, emotional songs touched the hearts of millions. Known for his work with the band The Frames, his Oscar-winning performance in the film Once, and his collaborations with artists like Eddie Vedder, Hansard was a voice that felt honest, intimate, and deeply human. His death at the age of 56 has left fans, friends, and fellow musicians in shock. Glen Hansard and Marketa Erglova performing at Cool Disc record store in Derry, Northern Ireland, April 2006. Glen Hansard died in the early hours of Wednesday morning following a motorcycle crash in Dublin, Ireland. The accident happened on Lower Road in Lucan, just west of the city, and was reported to emergency services shortly before 4:30 local time. According to his management, he was declared dead at the scene. Police are investigating the circumstances of the single-vehicle crash, and while no further details have been released, authorities have said there are no suspicious elements at this stage. The news has sent waves of grief across the music community, with tributes pouring in from artists who admired his talent and his sincerity. Born on April 21, 1970, in Dublin, Glen James Hansard grew up in the north side of the city, in a neighborhood that was not wealthy, but was rich in culture and music. He left school at the age of 13 to begin performing on the streets, singing for passers-by, and learning the craft that would one day carry him to international stages. That early experience shaped his approach to music. He was never just a performer. He was a storyteller, someone who believed in the power of song to connect people, to make them feel seen, and to give voice to emotions that are often hard to express. Hansard first gained attention as the frontman of The Frames, an Irish rock band that formed in the early 1990s. Their music was a blend of indie rock, folk, and post-punk energy, with Hansard's passionate vocals and heartfelt lyrics at the center. The band developed a loyal following, not just in Ireland but around the world, thanks to their intense live performances and albums like Fitzcarraldo, For the Birds, and Cost. For Hansard, The Frames were more than a band. They were a family, a group of musicians who shared a vision and a commitment to making music that mattered. But it was the 2007 film Once that brought Hansard's music to a global audience. He starred alongside Marketa Erglova as two struggling musicians in Dublin who form a connection through song. The film was a quiet, beautiful story about love, art, and the courage it takes to chase a dream. And at its heart was the music written and performed by Hansard and Erglova. The song Falling Slowly became an instant classic, and in 2008, it won the Academy Award for Best Original Song. That moment was not just a career highlight. It was a validation of everything Hansard had been doing for years, making music that was honest, vulnerable, and deeply moving. The success of Once did not change who Hansard was. He remained the same artist who valued live performance above all else, who believed in the intimacy of a small room, and who saw music as a shared experience rather than a product. He continued to tour with The Frames, released solo albums, and collaborated with other artists, including Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder. Together, they worked on the soundtrack for the film Flag Day and toured as part of Vedder's band, The Earthlings. Those collaborations showed another side of Hansard, one that was generous, curious, and always willing to explore new musical territory. When it comes to his personal life, Hansard was known to be private. He never married, and there is no widely confirmed information about a wife or long-term partner. Like many artists, he kept his relationships out of the public eye, choosing instead to let his music speak for him. That decision only added to the sense of mystery and authenticity that surrounded him. Fans knew the songs, the performances, the emotion, but the man behind it all remained grounded, focused on the work rather than the spotlight. As for his family, Hansard was born to parents who supported his early interest in music, even when he left school at a young age. There is limited public information about his siblings or extended family, but those who knew him have often spoken about the importance he placed on close relationships and the people who had been with him from the beginning. For someone who spent so much of his life on the road, those connections were a source of stability and strength. Glen Hansard's net worth is estimated to be around $5 million, a figure that reflects his long career in music, film, and live performance. While that number may seem modest compared to some mainstream stars, it is a testament to the kind of artist he was. He was not driven by fame or fortune. He was driven by the need to create, to perform, and to connect with people through song. His lifestyle was that of a working musician, one who valued authenticity over luxury, and who found fulfillment in the act of making music rather than in the trappings of success. The loss of Glen Hansard feels especially painful because his music was so deeply tied to the human experience. He sang about love and loss, about hope and doubt, about the struggle to keep going when everything feels uncertain. And now, his sudden death has left those songs with even more weight. Falling Slowly is no longer just a song about two people finding each other. It is a reminder of how fragile life can be, and how the moments we share through art can outlast the people who create them. For fans, the news is difficult to process. Hansard was not just a musician. He was a voice for anyone who has ever felt lost, who has ever chased a dream against the odds, who has ever found comfort in a song. His death at 56 feels far too soon, especially for someone who had so much more to give. But his legacy is already secure. The music he created will continue to play in small venues, in cars, in headphones, and in the hearts of people who found solace in his words. If you have been moved by the music of Glen Hansard, take a moment to honor his legacy by listening to his work, sharing it with someone who might need it, and keeping the story alive. And if you found this video meaningful, please consider subscribing and liking the channel for more stories like this one.